Hello tank fans, SoSlo here, bringing you a average tankers review of the Rheinmetall Skorpion G Tier 8 Premium German tank destroyer. This thing is, in my opinion, pretty stinking awesome. I'm going to break down for you what I think an average player will be able to do with this, and we'll go through some gameplay and just some do's and don'ts with this tank destroyer that will help you be successful in the battlefield if you decide to pick one up. They do go on sale here August 18th for some unspecified amount of money. So let's get into this thing. The Rheinmetall is based on the Panther chassis, and if you want all the stats for all that, you can go talk to or go watch somebody else's video that has all the numbers, armor, hull. The only thing you need to know as an average tank player is that this thing has no armor whatsoever. Every now and then you will get lucky and you will bounce a shot. Don't expect it to happen. The other very annoying thing about this tank, compared to many of its counterparts in the German tank destroyer line, is that this comes with a radio operator instead of a loader. So you cannot do a direct one-to-one crew swap from your Rheinmetall Borsig Waffentrager. You will indeed need to move over a radio operator from either your Waffentrager line, your JPE 100 line, or your Jag Tiger 88. None of the other tank destroyer crews, as far as I can tell, that have four, have a loader. Or have a radio operator, I'm sorry, instead of a loader. The E25, loader. Stug 4, loader. The 30, more than 4 players, or 4 crew members, so you get a radio operator. The Jag Tiger 88, you have a radio operator. The Kanonen has a loader. And the Grill 15 obviously has a radio operator. So with this, you will need to decide where and which of these tanks you're going to move a loader from. You can pull, if you need somebody to pull from one of these other tanks into here and use that, but I don't know. For my money, I put my waffle guys in here because once your loader gets updated, really, he's pretty much useless after you get Brothers in Arms and Safe Stowage. So, the tank itself, like I said, basically no armor. It has very good concealment. It has an amazing gun, and really the gun is where this tank shines. And we'll look at a comparison between this gun, which is pretty much the exact same gun at tier 8, with a tier 10 gun I should say, the 128, except for it has a slower rate of fire. Your alpha damages are the same, your penetration values are the same, but your dispersion at 100 meters, 5/100ths better than the RHM. Aim time 0.2 seconds better than the RHM, and this is pre everything, pre-equipment. Weight is obviously a lot less also. This thing is fast with a top speed of 60 kilometers an hour downhill with the wind to your back. However, it turns like a battleship. Do not expect to be circling anything or getting out of the way of this, or having your guys get out of the way of this, because it's not going to happen. Find your driver, put on, whoever the driver is, put on the crew skill of the tracks, whatever that is, turning of the tracks, the traverse, your track traverse, all traverse to help with that speed. But otherwise, this guy is, yeah, straight line, get you where you need to go real quick. Now, that can be a problem. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So here I've brought up some comparisons between the Rheinmetall and the RHM. Obviously I said the DPM for the Waffentrager is better, being that you have that little bit faster rate of fire. I have on both of these tanks mounted a gun rammer, a camo net, and a binoculars, so we can get an accurate comparison between the two. Both 128mm guns with 920 meters a second shell velocity, your max range of 720 meters. They both can carry 30 rounds. Again, aim time, accuracy, dispersion on the move, however, is less. You get 14 degrees of elevation, and this is where this tank also shines well, is that you get 7 degrees of gun depression, allowing you to work more hills and ridges with this tank, and it works wonderful. Again, the speed is just phenomenal. Your reverse speed, 20 kilometers an hour, just goes. A specific horsepower to ton of 16.88 is very good. Your terrain resistances are a little worse than what the RHM gets, but again, I believe this is a heavier tank. Better brakes, and you will see it when you stomp on the brakes in this thing. She almost brings the back end right over the top. Again, the armor is just forget about it. It's not there. You do get an extra 50 HP, which isn't much. View range, 450. Your camo is 15% all around. Radio range is very poor on this tank. You will not be talking to people on the other side of the map for the most part. So this is also very important when you are considering being, where you're going to be, so that you can stay in communication with your team and see what's going on the other side of the map. Tank cost is going to be 10,900 gold, which I believe is roughly the same, or in the same ballpark as other tier 8 tanks. Again, this thing weighted down is a pig, but enough with the stats. Let's go and look at what not to do in this tank. So, one place you definitely don't want to be is in the front. This tank is definitely fast enough to get you into trouble before you know that you're in trouble. Here, I'm looking to get a shot on the RU. I think I'm safe. And if there's already, and this thing is on the map, pretty much expect to get smacked by it. Again, no armor. Just tears and frustrations. And again, here, I just don't seem to learn my lesson. Taking the tank up to the front to see if I can't dole out early damage, and really all I do is just give myself tears of rage and baddie whatever. This tank is definitely not a frontline tank. If you see anything like, oh, I don't know, a T-49 with the dirt gun, I would highly recommend not trying to shoot it, because chances are you're gonna die. Well, that was fun. So, I'm sure at this point you're asking yourself, well, SoSlo, if this thing's such a piece of junk that you can't take it up and get anywhere near the enemy, how do I play this tank? Well, I'm gonna show you. So we're here on Lakeville, and we've got ourselves, appears to be a tier 9 match if I remember right. It won't let me change it. And basically, what I've come to find, and I'm trying to do to figure out, or I guess learn to better myself, is to keep my tank, or to keep the enemy tanks here within that circle, within that circle, that area of render versus actually being spotted. 440 max render range with the 546 max view range or whatever. Now, I'm fairly certain that this T-54 lightweight was botting. This guy did nothing but follow me the entire match, and so I'm going to try and ignore him. But all he did was just follow me around, which is a little annoying. So I got a good shot there at the beginning on that I thought was lightweight, I think. And here I see that he is moving in, but I want to get out of here because I don't want to get bombed by tanks that have lots and lots and lots of high-powered guns that can kill me. So the Patton up here destroys the 40, or the RHM, and the rest of the tanks here are threatening to come over the front. So at this point I decide, well, let's go ahead and start assisting the Valley tanks. They have 2 T-30s, an M48 Patton, and a Torch-1. So I feel it's very necessary to help keep these guys in check. Get a little bit trolled by RNG there with a shot into the tracks. Hopefully my allies can take advantage of that and do some damage. So again, excellent gun depression of this guy. And granted, we're not exactly poking hills and such, but making sure that we're keeping as much of the terrain between us and the enemy tanks, trying to make sure I'm moving more than my tanks with, so that I don't get blurted by Artie. I just take and try and place my shots as quickly as possible while aiming as much as possible to try and get rid of this tortoise. And luckily we now have an overmatch. Unlucky bounce there, right in the top of that turret. The STI does not. And so I am very wary of this guy's gun. I think I got a very lucky shot there. Luckily Artie is concentrating the STI instead of me. He could kill me with one shot, which would really kind of be stinky. So I'm going to continue to try and work this T-30 to see if we can't get this guy taken out. Now, the enemy team is kind of spread out thin. They only have the T-30 here in the valley. He's lost all his friends. Our wonderful T-54 Mod 1 is still, or T-54 Lightweight is still being annoying and doing nothing. Oh, shot just goes high. Our STI friend is on 6%. Unfortunately, the replay's got a bug where I can't change some of the stuff in it, so I can't see exactly what his hit points are, but 6% is not a lot. And there's a bat chat, and he's on 100%. That is not good. STI kills. I've got to get this guy taken out, otherwise we're going to get overrun. The 54 Lightweight is useless, he's not helping at all. So I give the STI a little bit, or the T-30 to move, and I'm able to hit him. Bat chat tries. Misses to hit me, and I load an HE shot. Now, I know that bat chat has got thin skin. I've got 65 millimeters of armor. So I come around, I turn around and I think, well, there's some tanks over here. Maybe we can do something about the guy in the middle, the CDC. And so I just sit. And again, the 54 lightweight doing nothing except for following me around like a lost puppy dog. And I'm pretty sure I got most of the people to report him. So I see that the CDC's moved along with the Skoda. Our 50Bs are up in the north, pressuring the cap. The Conch is moving. The T-92 is still in the south. And the lightweight has decided to drive around and follow the artillery because that's where he's most needed. So I move up here, try and do some either spotting or damage, try and get something going on. Cautiously work this corner, look to the right, 50B is over there. I can move up some more, and oh, that's not good. Get shot by the CDC, poked up over the edge, tracks me. So I wait patiently, I repair my tracks. I don't waste my repair kit, and I find some cover. And then I just wait for where I think that 50B is going to show. And this is what the point I look at the map, and I see the Batchat is down there killing the Conqueror. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. Or I'm sorry, the Batchat was down there killing the artillery. The Conqueror goes down to try and assist, but he's too slow and he can't get there fast enough. So, with the CDC and the Skoda 50T sitting there, I figure, you know what? We got a 50B, our lightweight is moving in to do I don't know what. Conch is running away. I start heading down because we need to get some pressure on these tanks in the south if we're planning on winning this. Especially if that Batchat's all by himself, we can take him. So I work my way around the dead tanks, blocking the center. The CDC gets spotted again, and our artillery is desperately trying to take him out. The Conqueror waits for me. Now this Conqueror is almost full health, but he felt for whatever reason that he wouldn't be able to kill Batchat by himself. And so he runs back, sees that I'm coming, takes a really wide berth, and so I let him get out there and see maybe if he can spot this Batchat if he's still there. Because he has the armor I don't. I can only take 2 to 3 hits at the most. So at this point, I see the Batchat has shown up again up north. They've killed the lightweight, and the 50B appears to be pressing a little bit, but I'm not sure. So, I have this sneaking feeling that Batchat is going to come back this way to see if he can't do something. I've still got my HE loaded, and I'm just waiting, because I've got a gut feeling that that guy's going to come back down the valley to either check it, and lo and behold, there he is. Set him on fire. The Conch puts a shot into him. He tries to hide. I've got an AP loaded next. I give him just a little bit, and I stick it right in his cheek. That was a lucky fire. That paid off really well. I give myself time to go a little dark. Keep the AP loaded, because I know now, I'm fairly certain that we got this one. We just need to move in, get him spotted, keep the 50B alive by tanking with our almost full health heavy, and we should be doing pretty good here. So I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit because there's some slow motion driving. One nice thing is that the Conch did actually wait. He didn't go running off, trying to get to the front of this thing without, you know, help. Get up there and get killed by himself. I derp one into the ground, just auto-aiming on the TVP, but he makes the mistake of trying to shoot the Conqueror. And the Conqueror puts one into him. I'm able to finish him off. The Conch is able to finish off the CDC. And that, kids, is game. So for the next battle, we are here on highway, and again I'm gonna show just some good examples of using that distance between the view range, render range, that max render range, and your max spotting range. So once we get into position here, we'll kind of use this. This game kind of played out a little differently than what I thought it was going to. I'm kind of glad that it did, that our heavies didn't, all two of them, go yellowing into town just to die, because would have really ended up being in a bad spot. Now, again, being in the front's a bad idea normally in this tank. However, on this map, I do have this bush here, and it did help that they didn't send anybody out to the field. But this would prove to be really bad for them, but good for us. So we basically line up, and as you can see, my maximum render distance ring, the farthest outside ring, gets barely to the hill where the TDs like to camp. But because of that, then that means that I can't be spotted by anything that gets to the inside ring, unless it gets to the inside ring and can actually spot me there. So I'm relatively safe considering nothing has popped up yet. At this point, I feel that, well, maybe we should go ahead and move up and see if we can't get some of these medium tanks to go and spot for us, and then come back if I need to attack, or to defend our base. To defend our base, not attack. So that's kind of what I do. What I decide to do is, and I believe that this is the correct move for kind of how this played out. Again, this is not your general way that this map plays. You don't get just no field rush by the enemy team. That just doesn't happen ever. So it was kind of interesting. But so I kind of post up here on the hill looking for enemy tanks, and there's the Proto. So go ahead and pull him up. And I have, like, why that is not working, I don't know, but I'll see if it does. If not, then I'll just go in this, try and pull up the view so we can actually get the enemy tank outlines, because it's not working. So yeah, that's really weird. But anyways, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. It must be a bug in the replay files with 9.15 versus 9.15.1. Anyway, so as you can see, I took a shot at the SU-100Y. He's still within that magical area. If he was still alive, I could have shot at him from there, and he would never been able to spot me, just because I am over that spotting distance. So now here, the Panther is a whole nother story. If there wasn't all of this brush and stuff, he would be able to. But a shot into the T-32, or I'm sorry, T-34, and our friendly carbon finishes him off. Still looking for that Panther, but again, picking my targets, using cover, using brush, trees, whatever I can find to ensure that I stay camoed, stay alive, because this tank is very, very fragile. Now, the instant I get spotted by the M10, I'm gonna start taking fire if anything is up on the 8 line. However, the M10 dies, so there's nothing to worry about. Our guys are trying to cap the base, and they're getting reset, but you would think that they'd have it. So I push up. Now, here again is where the speed of this tank can definitely get you in trouble. That's weird. But as you can see, I am up front. There's a charioteer in the back, and then that Carnarvon, and that's it. That is all there is here, and I'm the first tank up here. So who do you think they're going to shoot at? Well, me, of course. Or they shoot at anybody else. I'm the first tank. I have no armor whatsoever. And they're really need to kill this T-150. But the prototype does it. So he's taken out now. I get the bright idea that we should push up and engage this Super Pershing. Because I'm already spotted, he knows I'm there, I've got the Carnarvon, but I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. It just wasn't. I put a shot in the side, he puts another one in me. And now I'm living on borrowed time. Oh, take a good shot from the Hellcat there. And now I'm down to 171 hit points. I get a really nice snipe on this Hellcat. And now I start using some bushes. Trying to push up, get double bush. And my commander tells me that we get a good hit on that 152. Just using these bushes, trying to make sure that we kill these guys while not getting spotted so we can keep our other tanks alive. And as you'll notice on the map, our team at the cap has all died. Bounce the KV-4, which is very concerning. So I'm gonna try and like highlight this guy. Maybe? Oh, I guess I'm shooting over here now. Wow, that was really touchy. So I'll just leave it. Yeah. So I take a blind shot. But again, using the bushes, using everything I can to try and... Jeez, that tracking shot, I tell you what. Staying concealed as possible is really the key here, and that's what you need to do in this tank to be successful. It's just... I'm not putting myself out there in any unnecessarily. I can get shots in this guy. I know it's hard to see because the outline isn't working for whatever reason. But there I get spotted, and now guys are shooting 171 hit points. Their 304 can kill me, their Pershing can kill, everybody can kill me. I'm pretty much dead. Our Carnarvon pushed up all by himself. I don't know why, but he did. And now he's probably going to get punished for it. So I'm trying to be in a position where I can support him. And maybe get some shots on these guys too. Get a lucky shot on that guy. There wasn't much of his turret or whatever showing, but in that time the Carnarvon dies. So now our charioteer manages to get the KV-4 lit and keep him that way. I shoot him, set him on fire, charioteer takes him out. And here comes the Pershing, and I'm able to just sneak a shot through a couple of buildings there to secure the kill, and all we got left now is the 304. So really, what were the highlights of this game? What was the most important thing? Keeping the enemies at the distance. Most of the fighting, most of my damage came by shooting tanks that were between these rings, that were far enough out, using the bushes, and an excellent camo rating, and just sniping with this great gun to shoot these guys and hit their weak spots. That's what's going to make you successful playing this tank. As an average player, it's kind of counterintuitive, especially if you're a heavy tank guy or a medium tank guy or gal, and you like playing aggressively. You know, this tank is probably not going to be for you. I'm not even going to lie. It's a sniper. It's a tank that you play as a second line or even third line sniping tank. You take advantage of your distracted enemies and you put shots into them from the sides. If you have to put shots from the front, I mean, it's got plenty of penetration in the AP round at I think it was 246. Gold rounds 311. Your HE is even 65, which is, you know, not bad. It went through that bat chat and set him on fire in that last game. So really, this tank is absolutely a distance sniping tank. You can use its speed to get into position, but don't be out front. Don't be moving and pressing with your enemy, or with your friendly tanks. Don't be up there trying to kill and and brawl with the heavy tanks and the medium tanks. Let those guys do your spotting for you. Let them take care of all the other stuff, and they will indeed do the rest for you. So let's go ahead and check out how I did. So for that last game, we had an ace tanker, high caliber, 116,456 credits, 6,172 experience earned with a premium account. It was a good game. Did 4,228 damage, 5 kills, 1327 base XP. And like I said, this thing will just print credits. If you are not wasting repair kits and that type of thing, if you're not running food, this thing will reward you. Even if you are running food, you're going to do well. I cleared 87,000 credits with this, along with the ×3. I mean, just experience out the wazoo. This tank will make money for you even on bad games, and that's why I really like it. So in conclusion, guys, is the Skorpion right for you? Well, it depends. If you enjoy sitting back, sniping, and doing lots amount of damage and printing credits, then yeah, the Skorpion's definitely for you. If you're more of a brawler, someone who likes to get their tank up to the front, then maybe it's not. Personally, I think if you can learn the playstyle of this tank, which is using that map, using bushes, bush mechanics, and keeping those tanks within that render versus spotting distance, and punishing them when they're lit by your allies, then you're going to do well. But patience and the ability to take 1 or 2 games where you don't do a lot of damage is just going to have to be the norm. It's a great tank. Personally, I think that as an average player, if an average players can keep the sniping up, resist the urge to brawl with this until the end of the match, and use bush mechanics, you will do very well in this premium tank. So, goes on sale on the 18th. Check it out. Enjoy it. Get it. It's going to be a great premium tank. If you are somebody that likes TDs and you like to snipe, I cannot recommend this tank enough. So anyways, guys, take care. I hope to see you out there. And may RNG forever and always be in your favor. Bye.